Sammy for a minute. He's on the verge of breaking off from this inner circle and becoming a star on his own, like a Randy Orton left evolution type thing. I think it could be something like that.
Okay.
Because he's already outshining those guys. I think because to me, besides Jericho, he's better than everyone else in that group.
Oh no, without a doubt. I mean,
He might be better than Jericho right now. Who knows?
He's definitely one of the most entertaining guys that they have in that inner circle. We haven't really seen Santana and Ortiz since this whole
quarantine. Yeah,
the quarantine. We saw Hager last week, but everybody doesn't really seem very high on Hager. And Sammy Guevara has really been taking advantage of these matches that he's been having on Dynamite since the quarantine has happened. He had a good
I think he's another guy though that is underutilized on this roster. All he does seem to put people over and lose.
True. He hasn't really been utilized probably to his full potential. We haven't really gotten him in a world title match, even though it seems like maybe we'll get something with him and Matt Hardy. We'll get into that here in a little bit later. But I thought the match started off really good. The show started off really hot when the two guys that are, going to go all out one-on-one against each other. And Darby, like you said, took a beating tonight. We just saw the dive off the ladder onto by Sammy to Darby Allin. There was also a spot during the match where Darby does a dive outside the ring and goes head first right into this barricade. So he took a pretty good, huge beating tonight. I think he even said he was bleeding. Jericho mentioned on commentary that he was busted open. So it was definitely a, pretty tough match, pretty stiff match between those two guys. The rivalry seems to be running deep with those two guys as well. So next week, Dave, Darby versus Cody. You want to make a quick prediction since we are getting
this match? It's not next week.
It is next week.
I didn't hear him say that. Oh, okay.
I believe both tournament matches are next week. So,
the only thing I heard them say next week is fucking best friends versus Havoc and his roommate Kip Sabian.
Yes, they did announce. They announced that at the end.
Match.
Yeah,
that's what I want to see.
After Kip lost, they did announce that match. But 2 tournament matches next week. We get Darby versus Cody Rhodes. Dave, any predictions on this match?
Oh, shucky.
First off, I want to say something about this match. I thought it was a freaking awesome match. I loved it. I love Darby Allin. He's freaking Sammy's awesome. I wish Sammy would have won the match, kind of, because why not let him do something a little more? But I'm glad Darby won it. Obviously, Cody's gonna win. Murder Hawk's gonna win. And it's gonna be Cody and Murder Hawk in the finals.
You think so? Well, we got a hype train.
What else are they gonna do? I mean, what's they gonna do? Darby versus Dustin for the finals? I mean, come on.
Hey, what's up, Juanito? Nice. Thank you for those bits there, Speed. Nice comment saying Orange Cassidy is a trouser stain on the crotch of wrestling, shot from the penis that is Jimmy Havoc.
What about Speezy Cornette? How about that?
We got Speezy Cornette and we got Davey Cornette. We got both the Cornettes in the house tonight. Great stuff here tonight. Thank you guys again for the bits. Always appreciate that. We got a hype train going, so the more bits you got, we can get into level 2 if you guys feel like dropping some bits. Thank you for joining us, Juanito. How you doing this weekend or this week? Hope you're going well. I'm going to go with the upset, Dave. I think they're going to pull off an upset and have Darby beat Cody. I think Darby's going to beat Cody next week. I think something's going to happen with some help, maybe from the inner circle. But I think we're going to get Darby versus Archer. I think that's going to be the finals. I think that'll be a pretty interesting matchup, especially with Darby and how he wrestles and doesn't give a shit about his body. It should be a very interesting match if that does happen. But I'm going to call the upset. I think Darby's going to beat Cody next week. And I'm looking forward to that match.
I would too, yeah, I am too, no doubt. But I think what they're doing right now with Darby, they're doing like early age Jeff Hardy when he was starting to become a singles wrestler and getting everyone's respect. When Jeff Hardy took Undertaker to the eliminate ladder match. They're making Darby kind of like that to let people really get behind the guy as a really good underdog who comes so close, but then he slips out of his hands. He can't quite reach that brass ring. Oh, you like that?
Yeah.
Such good shit.
There you go. So you think what's going to happen is Darby's going to pretty much dominate throughout the match, and Cody's going to pull off.
It's Cody.
And then Jeff Hardy.
Jeff Harvey.
And he's going to pull off the win at the end. look, the obvious matchup, obviously, is Lance and Cody, especially since they're kind of building up the feud between them two. They're feuding on Twitter. They're feuding on the show. So they're building up to this match eventually going to happen. Whoa! Thank you for the gifted sub by Speeds to Raven's Blood. Thank you very much for that. Enjoy the emotes, Raven's Blood. Appreciate the gifted sub there very, very much. You don't think they'll kind of do a little swerve, bro, and have
no, because the match people. What do people talk about some of these Cody matches? That man, they'd be so much better if they were for the title. And now Cody and Murder Hawk Archer. They could be battling for the TNT title, and what better way to do it is to have Cody, which he probably won't, which you would think he should, lose to Archer, and Archer becomes the first ever TNT champion, a dominant champion, and just beats every other. He's going to Fox and CBS and beat all them up. There you go. Because he's the network champion.
They have the same artistic mind too. Darby could probably make crop circles in his yard too, said Bob Baruski. Let me scroll up here because I missed quite a. The Savior 2191. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Is Sammy gonna get the thumbs up, thumbs down being on Jake's shoulders? Says Bob Baruski. Even if Sammy loses, he is not buried. Far from that. Darby was bleeding from the nose. See, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I did. She was wearing gloves.
Marco Stunt versus Brody Lee next.
Really? Is it?
Yes.
Oh wow, we gotta talk about that thing too, because Cole, you're what? 5'10"?
Oh,
come
man.
on!
What's up, Noob? How you doing tonight, my friend? Thank you for joining us. Lit Mantis says
God damn, pal!
He's had enough with the fucking best friends. They teased the tag match before the actual kit match. That's